what you can do if a person has got a localized hypermobility. Chris, I tried doing this with you one time to make your head go back and forth, and it got very strange.
So for the camera, I'm saying pulse muscle energy is the goal. And this is your number one tactic for hypermobility. Just know that it's an active movement, more intense kind of process. It's not, quote unquote, relaxing. You need to do it sparingly.
So the other thing I'm going to show you is how I would move from one area to another and try to make it feel, you know, like a massage. How would it incorporate into a massage? So why don't you lay on your tummy to start?
The framing is really just on the table.
Okay.
So as long as it's really as close as I could, I had to have it plugged in.
All right. All right, are you cool?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So one of the things I start with is just kind of a rocking, and I'm looking for what moves and what doesn't move. All right, that's just where I'm at with stuff. And it's also where I rely on this when I'm trying to think about what I'm going to do. All right. So, and then as I start to massage in an area, when I get to a place where I'm going to do some joint movement, then I'm going to start to be thinking, is this hypermobile or hypomobile?
Pause. Let me just make sure that's actually going. It'd be a shame. Okay. All right. I can always edit all that out, but.
Okay. So let's say I've done some massaging through here, and I'm, worked my way down through here, and I'm starting to do some passive and maybe active range of motion down here, some joint movement, checking range. So don't discount the idea of shaking something. That really can normalize who knows what to shake something. And it feels like something is happening. So, okay, so I'm going to check this side, and actually that is a little hypermobile right through there. And you always want to compare to the other side. I could almost get his. That's more normal. All right, so this is my normal. This is my abnormal. He can almost touch his butt with this. I want to make sure that this is for a particular area, so I want to make sure he's not compensating by moving his hips. So, okay, that's where that bind starts. That's where that wants to be. And this one over here just doesn't have the same integrity to it. So I'm going to decide to do something with that. And I don't know at this point if it is the agonist or the antagonist that's binding. And the nice thing about this is that it doesn't matter. This method, it doesn't matter. So I'm not going to stretch him into the far range right here. I'm going to notice, that's more than the other side. I'm going to take it out straight, and I'm going to find halfway between those two ranges. Halfway. And then I'm going to stabilize it right here. And I am going to tell him, I'm going to show him, I want you to move it back and forth just like that. Move it back and forth just like that, just a little. Just a little. What I want is for it to move back and forth fairly fast, no more than 1/4 of an inch. But it takes a little while to get him to do that. Sometimes I have to say, okay, right here, hold right here. Now, let me move it just a little. Feel how I'm moving that back and forth like that? Okay, that's what I want you to do when I tell you. Okay, here we go. All right, you ready? Okay, so take it to the end range here without stressing it. To the end range here. right in between the two. And you're gonna go back and forth like that. No, real small. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Go. They'll struggle a little bit. Okay, now make it smaller. Okay, just like this. Can you go a little faster?
And
There we
it is hard
Yeah,
at
there
first.
you go.
Because you're offering resistance?
I'm not letting him move it all over the place. I'm holding it stable. Okay, back and forth. And I'm gonna do that and for about 30 seconds or until he starts to get some smooth, there it goes. He starts to get some smoothness to the movement.
That's what it'll feel. It'll feel very difficult for the client to achieve it. It'll feel very cumbersome, sometimes even frustrating. Just you preach patience, and then, as she said, when it suddenly feels like it gets more efficient.
If they can't do it, just leave it and come back, you know, because it really does feel like they should be able to do it and they can't.
But just like exercise, they, after a while,
And there's the bind right there. All right. That's a mirror. All I did was turn on the acceleration and the deceleration. And so if you find a joint that's hypermobile, that's it. That's the and you can do it anywhere. Start at mid-range so that you can see what it is. Now I'm gonna see what I can do for Larry's ankle, because it's been a year and it's bugging him and it's hypermobile and they've been trying to strengthen it in physical therapy. So this is a perfect set of circumstances to try this. All right, bring your ankle up there. You can come too.
Well, this summer it'll be a year.
Yeah. Okay, we gotta get some pre and post here. And you go ahead and take your shoes off. Okay, which ankle is it? All right. Can you stand on one foot on this? All right, now can you not look down there and stand on one foot? So he's got some balance issues to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's see what the other one is. Can you stand on that one?
That's the one.
That feels like it's gonna give. Yeah, well, don't hurt it. Okay. That may be the only assessment I get. If I get anywhere with it, his stability will improve. So, maybe the pain will go down, but I'm more after the stability. Okay, lay on your back. So I would do this in the context of a full body massage because you just never know what's gonna sort out with a full body approach. If I didn't wanna do massage, I wanted to do something that was totally over the clothes or whatever, then I could do that full body positional release or something with it. You are extraordinarily crooked.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this is the funky leg right here, right?
Yeah, I went this way, and
Yeah, I see it.
last time I did that, I fractured my fibula, so I went the other way.
Have you got a plate in here?
No, there's no place.
Okay.
No screws, nothing.
All right, so I'm gonna do some simple range of motion on the ankle so I can get a sense of where it's at. So I'm gonna start with dorsiflexion and plantar flexion, which feels pretty good.
This is on the left one.
Yeah, inversion, eversion, way too much eversion. All right, I'm gonna double check it on this side. And I would blend this all into one massage. All right, so there's my assessments. Okay, so the instability is primarily in this direction. That's way too loose for eversion on that. Okay, so I don't want to do that anymore. Other than if I were going to start with distort the pattern and see what's going on with stuff. But for this one, I'm going to try to turn this into a pulsed muscle energy for you to see what's going on with things. Is there a tender point in here? There?
Yeah, that's basically it, and if I do that, so where's,
Okay. All right, so that, we'll see if that gets better.
yeah, that's the one there.
Yeah, that's, yeah, poor thing. Now, if you work on, they need to know that you know, all right, or they're not going to feel heard. So you're going to want to try to recreate their symptom just a little bit. You know, does that feel familiar? Is that what bugs you? Okay. Doesn't mean I'm going to do anything else to that local spot, just that they know, that I know it's there. And for those people that want you to work and work and work on the spot, I would say, okay, I know where the spot is, but I also know that it can be connected to all kinds of stuff. So, but I want you to know that I am working on the spot. It's always in my head, even if I'm someplace else on your body. Okay. So, pulse muscle energy, I want to find my range. And then I want to go halfway between, right there. And then I'm going to show him what I want him to do. Okay, what I want you to do is go, can you do that? Okay, you do it. Okay, not so much that way, just that and that. Okay. Now, I'm going to hold it right here.
She's just turning it in.
Inversion, eversion.
And I want you to move it back and forth like that, but I want you to move it just a real little.
Now she's
Okay.
holding, but still.
And then the other way.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
she's holding it still when he's turning it.
Okay, now back and
Inversion,
forth.
inversion.
Back and forth. Okay, let's see if we can just use this down here and we can go a little faster. A little faster. A little faster. Okay, so he's got, he's wanting to push harder than he needs to.
She's letting it go.
All right, so I'm going to hold it right there. You don't let me move it.
Yeah,
Okay? Don't let me move it. There you go. Now you stay still. Don't let me move it. That's it. Because he can't get it on his own. Okay, you hold real still. There you go. Don't let me move it.
Oh, she's trying to push on the
All
inversion.
right.
Inversion.
Now let's see if you can do it. Fast and little. Fast and little. Okay, that was better.
And less recruitment into the rest of the body.
Yeah. All right. Turn your foot back and forth like that. Okay, can you do that? Get slow, slow, and not so much. There you go. That was better.
He's just turning it in front.
All right.
Inversion, inversion.
And then I'm gonna find the sore spot. It's not a sore, or is that
Yeah.
that it?
Just like
yeah,
that.
you
Yep.
had it there.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's it.
Now she's grabbing.
Okay, so now we're gonna try to find a position of release. Position of release here.
Arch, grip it.
So bend this knee.
She's having them bend.
Did that
the
change it at all?
Opposite.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay, now come back so you can tell the difference.
Goes up to his face.
That makes it a little tighter.
Now she's.
Okay, and then back up. A little better,
No, to his face.
a little better. Okay, just hold it right there. And then this is what I would start to do with it, so it didn't look like nothing was
She's just
happening.
gripping and rocking it. She got her
There you
very
go.
hand right below his knee on the chin.
All right, now let's do this again.
She's
All right.
twisting it.
Turn it in and then out. That's better. Now do it fast, little and fast. That's quite a lot better there, Larry.
Mhm.
Okay, so this arm is opposite the leg where the injury is at. That's the one we were getting the movement. So. Okay. When I tell you, I want you to do this really fast.
You want me to curl my foot too?
Yeah, I want you to curl your foot,
Up or down?
just like that.
Probably up, okay.
All right. We're not worried about the other one now. We're just worried about this up here. Okay. You're gonna do that really fast. Ready? Okay.
So wrist paired with ankle, and then the actions she's doing at the wrist are flexion and extension of the wrist,
Well, it's a little bit
Flexion
of
of the
supination,
wrist.
pronation too.
supination, pronation. But that would ideally correlate with activating reflexes in that ankle. Right wrist with left ankle,
Okay,
left
so you
wrist
got
with
that
right
part
ankle.
down. Now let's do this part. There you go. Now slower and smaller, or faster and smaller. Usually you're telling people to go slower. There, that was a good one. Okay, now let's see what happens. Now I wouldn't necessarily get them up and down like this. I want you to see the progression of what goes on with it. Okay. All right, and then the other side. Okay. All right. Now, sit around. I want you to stand on one foot, this foot. I'm holding you, right?
So
Okay.
he's standing out.
One foot.
Or she's wrapping her arms around his.
I'm just, this is a proprioceptive thing.
She's.
Okay, now the other foot.
Well, he's-
I've got you. You're not gonna fall. I've got you. Does it hurt in your
It
ankle?
hurts a little bit, but not like,
Not like it was?
we're steadier though.
She's
Okay.
on his left foot while she's.
Now, let's see what happens. That's better.
Hey, look at that.
That's a lot.
Way better.
Now, one time isn't gonna cause progressive change, but you can see, you get fast results when you're fooling with the nervous system. So, you're healed.